Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one. Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Okay, fine. I suppose we'll go and rescue Hans. He must have been locked up in Castle Malashov for 2 or 3 months by now. Honestly, if they haven't ransomed him by now, they never will. So I suppose I'd better go and bust him out. Now, Castle Malashov used to be owned by the Ruthards family, and they have a palace here in Kuttenberg. Now, the important part of that statement is used to be owned by the Ruthards family. The Ruthards were in the unfortunate position of being an extremely powerful and influential family in Bohemia who didn't kiss enough of King Sigismund's arse. As a result of this, Sigismund's lackeys managed to get them stripped of most of their lands, titles and offices, not least of which was mastery of the royal mint. But, at least as far as I'm concerned, most importantly, ownership of Castle Malashov, which is where Hans is being held. So, if anybody knows how to get into Malashov, it's going to be the Ruthards. And of course, they have no love for King Sigismund. Here's their palace in Kuttenberg. Who's that standing guard at the gate? He's not wearing their family colours. Oh shit, what's going on?
I have not changed my answer. I will not sell you the rights to my mines. Not today, not tomorrow, nor in 100 years. You will not get your hands on my silver.
You forget I have influential friends. If you won't sell the mines, you'll lose them. Just like Malashov. Along with your life, if you defy me.
Mind your step. Two can play that game.
You come onto a man's property and threaten his life. You're lucky you're not in Texas.
Did you really think that I didn't know you were stealing the royal silver, eh? When your self-proclaimed king finds that out, your head will be on the chopping block.
Seize that traitor!
Not another step.
You'll get yours too, turtle dove. What are you waiting for? Can't you see? They're threatening the Royal Mint Master!
So, violence it is.
Hell with you! Get him!
Oh, well, and they started it. I didn't even draw my sword and attack. All right, well,
Fuck yourself!
that's decided which side I'm on.
Yeah!
You see, this is why uniforms and colours are important, because I don't know who's who here. I just know that the guys in yellow attacked me, so I should probably attack them back and not stab the guys in blue.
I'll beat you, drop fucker! Take that,
Damn. They gave me a going over. Good thing you showed up, lad.
You alright, sir? Looks like you took some hits.
It's just a scratch.
Papa! My God! You're hurt!
I'm all right. What the hell was that, Rosa?
I saved your life, didn't you notice?
We would have been in the right if you hadn't taken the shot. Now we have the blood of the king's men on our hands. Do you have any idea what this means?
Was I supposed to let one of Sigismund's lackeys insult us in our own home?
And you thought this was a better solution?
You know what? Let's just leave it be. I don't want to argue in front of the young man here. Apologies for the mess, stranger. There aren't usually so many corpses strewn about our courtyard.
I should be the one apologising. Some of it is my handiwork.
It won't be your concern, though. I promise. We'll call the guards and tell them what happened. That Ulrich Vavak and his men attacked us for no reason.
You think that will make them let us off the hook?
Not for free. But knowing young Plimo, the commander of the guard, I'm sure he won't refuse my coin. But back to you, lad. Who are you? And why have you graced us with your visit?
I'm Henry of Scalitz, squire to Lord Capon of Perkstein.
Pleased to meet you. Conslin Ruthard. And this feisty creature here is my daughter Rosa.
Like father, like daughter.
Why did your master send you to me, Henry?
He didn't, sir. Unfortunately, he's in enemy captivity.
We're sorry to hear that.
But I plan to rescue him. And I believe you can help me with that.
We can? How?
Lord Capon is held at Malashov.
Our Malashov? I don't envy him. I was planning on fixing the roof before they took it from us. It's full of leaks. I doubt its new master will lift a finger to do anything about it. But tell me, why would I meddle in matters that don't concern me?
Well, I know he has no love for the king, or the king's ass kissers.
But we all stand on the same side. Against Sigismund.
That is undoubtedly true. I don't like that ginger bastard either. Especially since his people started sticking their fingers in my coffers. But to get involved in something as dangerous as freeing a captured nobleman in a territory conquered by Sigismund?
We have to do something to help. I know it's dangerous.
Dangerous? It's madness. What if somebody finds out?
Does it really matter?
It certainly does, lad. I'd only end up with my head on the chopping block. And I don't even want to think about what they'd do to Rosa.
That's true. As long as Vavak's breathing down our necks, we have to be careful.
Who is he, anyway?
Ulrich Vavak von Neuhaus. The new mint master appointed by Sigismund himself. He's had it in for us ever since he took over the office. He's been pressuring me to hand over my mining rights. It seems he'd like to see me reduced to a beggar. And now we've killed his men. The king's men. I'll have to reach deep into my pocket to get out of that. Like Rosa said, lad, as long as Vavak is around, my hands are tied. I'm sorry.
All right, so we get rid of Vavak. Any suggestions?
We'll have to untie your hands then. What should I do?
There might be something. It's obvious Vavak is getting richer than his office warrants. There are rumors going around that he's stealing the king's silver. He even uses it to mint counterfeit groschen, using a fake die. If Sigismund were to find out, he'd have him executed at once, regardless of his noble blood.
I mean, I could just, stab him.
But you need evidence to make such an accusation, right?
Exactly.
But how do we find it?
Some of the silver goes missing somewhere along the way to the mint, and we have to find out where.
Find out? But how? They don't let just anyone into the mines and smelting works.
You're right. Only authorized people are allowed in. Fortunately, we have an ally, my friend Peter of Pisek. They ousted him from the Mintmaster's office, but his brother Christian remained in the Italian court. He wanted to become the Mintmaster himself, but because of Vavak, he had to settle for the steward's office. He hates him even more than we do on account of it.
And that's saying something.
Christian and I were just talking about his suspicions. He'd welcome any dirt you can dig up on Vavak, just as much as I would. If you go to him and ask for help on my behalf, I'm sure he'll accommodate you. I'll help you free Lord Capon in exchange for evidence of Vavak's fraud. That's fair, isn't it?
All right. It's a deal. I've already met Peter of Pisek, and I know he can be trusted. Let's hope the same goes for his brother.
Excellent. You'll find Christian in Horshan, at the estate near the mines. Tell him the password, Via Argentum, the pot of silver. He'll know who he's dealing with. But be careful, both of you. This is our last chance to stop Vavak.
We'll be praying for you.
I could still just give him a damn good stabbing. I mean, it's a permanent solution. It's not very subtle, I admit, but, you know, let's just keep all of our options on the table. No? Okay. The mines it is, then. So, as mentioned in previous videos, the biggest industry in Kuttenberg, and in fact the reason for Kuttenberg's existence as a city in the first place, were the silver mines. Silver had been mined in and around Kuttenberg for a very, very long time. At least 800 years before the mines eventually started running out and ceased production. These mines are owned by Lord Ruthard. He doesn't own all of the mines around Kuttenberg, but he owns this one. And it's one of the most profitable. The thing is, the whole mining silver situation is kind of complicated. The mines are owned by the Ruthards, but the silver in them is technically owned by the king. Or at least, any silver that's mined has to be sold to the king and the king alone. Now obviously the Ruthards get a decent price for this, and equally obviously the king doesn't smelt the silver himself. Any silver delivered to the king goes via the royal mint master, and it's the mint master's job to turn the raw silver ingots into silver coins, which belong to the king. With me so far?
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift.
The thing is, apparently not all this silver is actually making it to the royal mint. Some of it's been intercepted along the way.
I got this job from Ulrich von Neuhaus.
But I can make sure he knows how you run the place. That's the 5th yucca who got scrushed in here.
This is some jiggery pokery.
Be quiet. And now clear off. You have no business here.
Fucking do, actually. I'm here to see you.
You're a Christian of Pisek?
I am. What do you need?
Kunzlin Ruthard sent me. About Via Argentum.
I see. But I'm afraid I don't have good news for Sir Kunzling. I haven't made much progress regarding the matter we discussed. I just don't have the time to investigate. I'm always needed somewhere, and there's always someone following me around.
It sounds like I might be just the man for the job.
Well, that's why I'm here. I'll help you with your investigation.
Excellent. You'd be pulling a thorn from my side. What's your name?
Henry.
All right. Listen up, Henry. Nobody can know I'm looking into it. It's a very dangerous game, but hopefully I don't need to tell you that.
Lord Ruthard mentioned something of the sort.
Excellent. Excellent. You don't happen to come from a family of miners or smelters, do you?
Well, I mean, I know my way around a forge, but it's not the same thing.
My father was a blacksmith.
It's a fine craft. But it won't teach you much about silver mining and processing. I'll be happy to tell you everything you need to know. Now, follow me, please. We need to talk somewhere in private.
All right. Lead the way. It seems fairly obvious that if some of the silver is going missing on the way to the mint, it has to be an inside job. Because nobody's reported any robberies. Essentially what you have here is a closed loop. No outsiders get involved in the process at any stage. So if silver's going missing, it has to be somebody on the inside. And it's not going to be just one person. There's too many checks and balances in place. There has to be some kind of conspiracy.
Where should I start looking?
Straight to the point. I like that. We know for a fact the silver must be getting lost somewhere on its way to the mint. That means it would be best to discreetly inspect all operations and find out where the problem is. First of all, you should ask miners from every shift how many corves they mine in a day. After that, we'll compare the numbers to the mine record books and see.
But the yields aren't the same every day, right?
True. That's why we have to focus on one particular day. For example, the other day, on the Feast of St. Petronilla, Foreman Fett was beaming and bragging to me about how much it helped. Mined out.
Couldn't I just ask Fett?
Fett's job is to count the corves and write the amount down in the mine book. He won't tell you any other number. We're interested in what the miners themselves have to say. They've no reason to hide anything. Nevertheless, the miners are a strange bunch. They might not be very forthcoming at first, and they have an odd way of speaking. Like calling each other Sonny, however old they are. But you'll hear for yourself. You should pretend to be really interested in them, and maybe they'll open up to you. You could be a scholar writing a treatise on silver mining. Or perhaps a nobleman interested in buying a mine. Or Just say I'm your distant uncle who's initiating you into the ins and outs of my job. It's up to you.
I reckon I could pose as a curious scholar.
Suit yourself. Just don't change your story so you don't arouse suspicion. But to the point, each day 3 shifts work in the shaft. Each has its foreman, or gaffer, as they say. The first shift is led by Frank, the second by Paul, and the third by Samko. You'll have to ask each one of them how many corves they mined. Samko's hewers should be off work now. You'll find the other 2 shifts in the mine. Take this, so the guards will let you in. It's a letter of safe conduct bearing my seal, allowing you free movement within the mine.
And what are you going to do?
I'll return to the estate to do my job. What else? I reckon they must be wondering where I am by now. Once you find out how many corves the 3 shifts mined on the Feast of St. Petronilla, return to me. We'll compare that number to the entry in the mine book. And don't forget, don't draw attention.
Oh, yes. The miners. The miners and their curious way of speaking. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I think on the whole the voice acting in this game is absolutely fantastic. But there are certain peculiarities. Does everybody remember Betty, the innkeeper in Troskovitz? Who, like, halfway through the same sentence, she can't remember whether she's from Jamaica, Yorkshire, or whatever. It was as if she'd been played by a voice actress who wasn't a native English speaker, but spoke very, very good English, and thought that they'd mastered regional English dialects. But really hadn't. You had a similar situation as well with the Moravians at the wedding in Sameen. All of the Moravians were Scottish, apparently. They all had Scottish accents. The gamekeeper in the Troskovitz area as well, the royal gamekeeper, he was also played by an actual Scottish voice actor, and therefore had a very, very good Scottish accent because he was actually Scottish. But the Moravian party guests at Castle Sameen did not. They were all played by people who had clearly heard a Scottish accent and thought, that doesn't sound too hard, I can do that. And they really, really could not. And it's the same situation here with the miners at Horsham. I think what Warhorse Studios did was they said to themselves, okay, what region in England is known for mining? And they thought, well, the northeast of England, around Newcastle, the Geordie accent, all of those coal mines around the Jarrow area, for example. Yeah, Newcastle was famous for producing coal. They were miners, so we'll get people who can do Geordie accents to play the miners in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Except they only got people who thought they could do Geordie accents. I am actually from that part of England, so I know what a Geordie accent sounds like, and trust me, it doesn't sound anything like this.
Foreman Frank?
What you looking for, sonny? Can't you see we're hewing?
Sir Christian of Pisek sent me. I'm a student at the university in Prague. Henry. I'm writing a treatise on silver mining.
I didn't know you scribblers were interested in us ordinary yakkers, but you can't just amble around. You'll count your creels.
I just have a few questions.
The more we gab, the less we gar. But make it snappy, man. What do you want to know, like?
It's like somebody heard a Geordie accent on TV.
What is the work of a miner really about?
What's it about? Bugger all, kidder. No great shakes. We gans through the roads, Bella. Hewing off from rock in the dark and breathing in the stithe.
The crazy thing is, some of it is spot on.
How much do you get for your work?
I'll tell you, man. Them deputies up at bank make a howfin' pile of chink. But us buggers, the ones doing all the graft, we earn a pittance.
Can you give me a more specific number?
Sometimes, not even half a grosh and a cough. That's near way to make a living, man.
How exactly do you mine ore?
Bloody hell. Have you never seen a yakka graft, kid ya? You take a kevel and ding away at the rock till it crumbles. And if you keep ganning at it for a couple of years and don't croak from the stithe, then you'll keel over from exhaustion or get scrushed by the ceiling of the road you're hewing.
Some of it's spot on. Most of it is not.
I wonder, how much do you mine in a day?
That depends on how much ore you howk out of this or that face. It varies.
How much did you mine, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
Listen, kidder. Aren't you a bit too curious? Why do you need to know that for? Them numbers won't be useful to nobody.
It sounds like this is an actual English voice actor, although why they couldn't have just hired somebody from Newcastle, I have no idea.
I really need to know it for my work. My treatise won't be complete without it. Est rerum omnium magister usus. Experience is the best teacher. And you have that experience.
Aye, well, a clever head but a gawk-handed, eh? All right, I'll tell you. It was a good gar on the feast of St. Petronilla. Our yakkers hewed 36 corves.
Thanks.
36. Okay. That much I understood.
Take care for now.
Wow. Let's see what this one's like.
Are you Foreman Samco?
Aye, I am. Who's asking?
My name is Henry. Stuart Christian sent me to you. I'm a student from Prague, and I'm writing a treatise on miners and mine operations.
Why should I care? Didn't you see we're off graft?
Sir Christian told me to ask about anything that interests me, and that you'll tell me.
Ah, Sonny, I'm so tired. I haven't even got the strength for gabbing. I wouldn't mind having a game of dice, but minus rules. Then I'll tell you everything. What'd you say?
Oh, I don't have time to play dice, and I'd have to lose to you, so let me just cut out the middleman.
I may not look like it, but I'm not wanting for groschen. I'll pay you if you talk to me.
All right, Mara. That works for me. Tell us what you want to ken.
This voice actor's just as bad as the first one.
How do you mine ore?
Either we're on hard rock, and then no one's hewing shit, or we're hewing something soft, and then it goes grand. Only then there's not much silver in the ore, and you've got to smelt the shit out of it.
How much do you make doing this?
Don't even get me started. The chink's bad, and it's getting worse. Half a groschen a corf is no.
What is the work of a miner about?
Aye, that's a good question, Mara. Mostly about oaken. Any yakker'll tell you that. But proper rest is even more important than graft. You're as weak as a midgie without it.
How many corves did you mine on, say, the Feast of St. Petronilla?
I can tell you exactly. All the yakkers were working, and we were getting along nicely. We managed to hulk 34 corves without skimping on hame time. First time in ages, that was.
That's all I need to know.
I hope I helped.
The thing is, written down, and thankfully there are subtitles, but written down, it's reasonably authentic. And they are using certain Geordie words from the Geordie dialect, like Mara for friend, or yen for home. They are using Geordie words, and the fact that they're using Geordie words is the only reason I understood that what they're actually trying to do is a Geordie accent, because writing it down the correct way is one thing, but getting people who understand how to pronounce what they're reading is something entirely different, and they just haven't been able to do that. The thing is, there are hundreds of thousands of people in the world who can say it properly. The Geordies, and some of them act for a living. You might have even seen some of them. But it's like Warhorse just keep relying on the same half dozen or so voice actors that they already have in their books to do everything, regardless of whether or not they can actually do everything. And sadly, in a lot of the cases, they cannot. And so we end up with ridiculous accents, like the multitude of accents in the same sentence. From Betty, the innkeeper in Troskowitz, we end up with the horribly bad Scottish accents from the Moravian party guests at Sameen and the miners here at Horsham. It just occurred to me why I cannot find the third foreman. There are 3 shifts. One shift is down the mine actually working at any given time. And since I've just met the foreman of the other 2 shifts above ground, they're clearly not on shift. So I need to go into the mine to find the third one, don't I? Yes. Yes, I do.
Where can I find your foreman, Paul?
What you doing here, kidder? Who let you in, by?
I've got a letter of safe conduct from Christian of Pisek. I'm a student from Prague. I'm trying to get to know the miner's life from up close and write a thesis on it.
Right? A thesis? Well, I'll be damned.
I just need to ask your foreman a few things.
What Gaffer's gone doing there to pray? Don't know if he'll be up for talking, but...
Why wouldn't he be in the mood for talking?
Young Jaybird, one of our Maras, got scrushed the other day. He hadn't even had a full week on the graft, poor lad. It happened the day before the feast of St. Petronilla. You'll find Paul at the lowest level, by the roof wall. He's praying for the salvation of his soul. You'll hear the wind howling in the attic down there. It can be heard as far as that cursed road. I hear it's haunted. Don't fret, but St. Barbara will look out for you.
It was good to see you, my friend.
You know, that one wasn't actually that bad. I mean, I don't think he was an actual Geordie, but it's certainly the best attempt that we've seen so far. He actually got the pronunciation of several of the words correct. And once again, it's probably a good thing that I'm playing the game with subtitles, especially for those of you for whom English is not your first language, because a Geordie dialect is one of the most incomprehensible English regional accents. If you're not from the country, in fact, sometimes even if you are English, you just cannot understand somebody with a thick Geordie accent. But that one wasn't actually too bad. So anyway, where's this third foreman? I said he was down below, so this is clearly the correct way to go. It's a good job I've got a torch. Looks like he's down this way, at least according to the quest marker. Although it can be deceptive, particularly when you're in a multi-level area like this, because it doesn't give you any indication whether or not the objective is up or down from where you currently are. It just points in the direction. So I think, well, I mean, I know I'm heading in the right direction. I just don't know if I'm on the right... No, I am on the right level. That's it.
Are you Foreman Paul?
Hey! You walk like a ghost, kidder. You gave me a bit of a fright there. Hold on. I don't know ye. Who are you? And what are you doing so deep in the pit?
My name's
Yeah,
Henry.
he's terrible.
So Christian sent me. I'm a student at the university in Prague, and I'm writing a thesis on the life and lot of miners. I hate to interrupt your prayers for a dead friend, but I need to ask you something.
He weren't just me Mara. He were my blood. I raised him from a nipper since my sister died. He kept begging me to take him on a shift, saying he was strong as a horse. Wouldn't it take no like. And now, I can't forgive myself.
There's no more pain in heaven. Don't be so hard on yourself.
You're right. I hope the Lord has welcomed the poor lad into the kingdom of heaven. Will you pray with me for his soul one last time?
Aye. I'll pray with you.
You're a canny lad. Repeat after me.
See, they've got the words right. You know, the script is correct. It's just that, with one exception, none of these voice actors know how to say it.
Almighty and merciful God, our Father, you are the giver of gold, silver, bronze, copper, tin, iron, and all ores and metals. I ask that you bless my brother, who has died in this mine. And may your holy angels save his soul from damnation. Bring his soul to eternal glory through our Lord, our Saviour and Redeemer, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Right, now we need to find out who's fucking with the money, because a king will forgive a lot of things, but he won't forgive you fucking with his money.
So, are you going to answer me now?
Aye. Thanks for praying with me. Ask about out.
What is the work of a miner about?
What it's about? It's about hewing the face and hauling the ore to the bank in coves. Over and over again. Proper graft, that. Can be real dodgy, mind. Might even do you in.
Are deaths in the mine common?
Aye. But every death in the shaft is a waste. Whether it's in a crumple or black damp. Unfortunately, we still bury a yakka or two a month, you know. That's life like.
So how many corves did you mine, say, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
That weren't a good day. Nobody was in the mood for ganning on after what happened to Jaybird. But even so, we managed to hawk 30 corves.
You see, it's not hawk, it's hawk. They wrote it correctly, he just doesn't know how to say it.
That's all I need to know.
If you say so, Mara.
Anyway, comical attempts at a Geordie accent aside, we've got the amounts that the foremen say they actually mined on the day concerned. Now we just need to compare those amounts with the amounts written down in the ledger. And if they don't match up, we know where to start looking.
Gepriesen sei der Herr.
You're the local ore merchant.
Na ja, I buy ore. And who are you?
My name is Henry, and I'm here by Sir Christian's permission. I study at the university in Prague, and I'm writing a thesis on silver mining.
Wirklich? Interesting. In any case, you are in the right place. The Horshan shafts are some of the most profitable in all of Kuttenberg. I am Hermann. If you have any Fragen, I am happy to answer them.
Wait, so you're Herman the German? Really?
How many corves do you buy a day?
It varies. It depends on the rock that is being hewed. When you hew into hard rock, the yield is smaller than from soft rock, which crumbles with little effort, but there's little silver in it.
As an ore merchant, what do you do?
My job is to buy ore from the mines and resell it to the smelting works. Every day I count the amount of the ore mined and test its quality. That is why we are also called assayers. Depending on the quality, I then estimate the price at which I can sell the ore.
Do you buy silver together with the stone?
I do. You can only get pure silver from the stone in the smelting works. That is why it is important to know how much of it is in the ore.
I am kind of beating around the bush here because I don't want to realise exactly what it is I want to know.
How do you estimate the price?
It takes skill and experience. I go through a few corves, get some samples, and bring them down here to assay them. Then I estimate the ratio of silver to the waste and set the price according to the average.
Right, now let's cut to the specifics.
How many corves did you buy lately? For example, on the Feast of St. Petronilla?
Sancta Petronilla? Weiß nicht. Entschuldigung. I do not remember. You can ask Christian, though. It is all in the books.
What, you don't keep your own records? Okay. Right, where's Christian? Oh, he has his office in the same building. There he is. Okay, so Christian has the ledgers. So we just compared the numbers that we got from the foreman with the numbers in the ledgers.
I already know how many corves the crews extracted on the Feast of St. Petronilla. It was 100 altogether.
I see. Meanwhile, I looked in the mine book. How many do you think it says there?
I'm guessing it doesn't say 100.
I'd guess it's less.
Then you'd be correct. The book lists 90 corves extracted. That means 10 corves of ore disappear each day. But nobody could just come along and take them. We keep a close watch on everything. The unreported corves must be going out to smelting works with the rest of the ore. That means...
What does it mean?
that this is fraud of colossal proportions, and that Foreman Fett and Herman the ore merchant are in it up to their ears.
Oh, so it was Fett's total that was... Wow, 10%. Shit.
What about Vavak?
I still think the trail will lead us to him, but we know too little so far. You need to talk to Fett and Herman first. Being involved in the theft of silver is a capital crime, so it should be in their own interest to cooperate. Make sure to promise them no one will know about their crime. You can mention my name. When you've talked to them, come back to me and we'll figure out what to do next.
10% overall of the silver, and that's coming from just one mine shift foreman, Foreman Fett. So he is basically losing 30% of everything that his shift produces. And somehow, it's probably ending up in Vavak's pocket. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to prove that, but, well, it sounds to me like Herman the German here has got some tough questions to answer.
We need to talk, Herman.
Was ist denn los?
Sir Christian sent me. We found some discrepancies in the mine book.
Discrepancies?
How do you explain that the miners extracted 100 corves of ore on the Feast of St. Petronilla, but the book only says 90?
If it says 90, there must have been 90. The book does not lie.
You sure about that? Because somebody is telling dirty great big porcupines.
Or someone is writing down false numbers and hiding 10 corves.
I do not write anything in the book myself. Foreman Fett counts the corves here. Go and talk to him instead.
Don't tell me you don't count them too. You wouldn't pay for more corves than there really were.
Do you have any idea how much ore passes through my hands? How am I supposed to remember how many there were ausgerechnet on the Fest of St. Petronilla? Besides, miners can lie and say they extracted more than they did. They like to show off.
All 3 crews agreed to report more. I seriously doubt that.
Also, you're the accountant. It's your fucking job to know.
Your story doesn't add up, Herman. We found out. Simple as that. Don't try to outsmart me and Sir Christian.
I am not trying to do anything. It was Fett's idea. He came to me saying we were going to deliver more corves to the smelters than we would report, and I would get paid for it. It was going well. I have always paid for what we put in the book. Then I got some geld from Fett on the side. On the feast of St. Petronilla, I was afraid they would be able to tell the difference. 10 corves is 10 corves after all. Nobody at the smelting works cared at all. I am sure they are in on it too.
How long has this been going on?
Several months. Maybe half a year. About since Sigismund arrived.
Or about since Vavak took over as the Mint Master. Funny old coincidence.
Is Ulrich Vavak behind this?
The Mint Master? I have no idea. I am a mere assayer. I have never even met Vavak.
So this guy's busted, which means now I own his arse.
Sir Christian and I agreed to investigate the matter in secret, so just act like nothing's going on. Keep doing what you're doing. We don't want to scare off the people who are actually responsible. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. I will be as silent as the grave.
Obviously the ore merchant isn't at the top of the feeding chain here. But remember, his job is to buy the silver ore for the king. He's buying the silver from the mine with the king's money. So he's ripping off the king to the tune of 10% of the value of all of the silver that's coming out of the mine. And like I said, good kings, bad kings, even a good king who will forgive you for a lot of misdemeanors will not forgive you for fucking with the money. You can get away with a lot of shit. Fucking with the money is not one of them. So now we own Herman the German. And now we just need to find how far down the rabbit hole this whole conspiracy goes. And we're going to begin doing that in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed this one. And as always, take care. And I'll catch you next time.